Good evening. This is the TradeSite Forex Market Preview and International Economic Data Roadmap for the week, beginning Sunday, the 7th of December, 2014, and ending Friday, the 12th of December. Here's a look at the dollar index daily chart. New highs for the year. Broke off and out of that trapped pink risk line, got us right through that and heading higher. Didn't do too much this week point-wise. Monday was flat. You'll see what the intra-week action was like when we get to that. Meanwhile, here's the euro dollar, new lows down to that 1.2284 level. Let's put that in perspective. Let's go take a look at the monthly chart of the euro dollar just so we can see where we're at here. This is going back to 2006. We're now approaching the euro at its lowest levels against the dollar ever. And keep in mind this was a big deal when it fell apart back in 2008, obviously. So there's got to be some concern out there as we're getting back near those levels in general. Here is a look at the pound dollar. This will be monthly again to start with, going back to 2006, and you can see the general. It's not near the lows like the euro was. Let's look at it on a daily chart, though. It is near the lows of the year. But that's not a lot of range for the pound versus what we see sometimes. And if I give you a slightly different chart here of the euro, we can actually go back further to when it was actually first around. You can see, there you go. There's a monthly chart of the euro. Obviously, it's been lower back in the early 2000s when it broke under 1.0, ever since actually starting out in 1990. But here's where it's at right now. This is definitely like a 10-year low on the euro dollar. It's pretty interesting. Dollar's been getting stronger for sure. Let's take a quick look at the Aussie at new lows. New Zealand's got a 13 buy signal. Oops, sorry about that. 13 seeker buy signal. Also want to point out there's the pound yen has a seeker and Comer 13 sell signal, as does the euro yen. They both have double sell signals, so that'll be interesting to watch. All right, let's take a look at the intra-week action and see what we got. Here's 30-minute bars. We'll start with the euro dollar again, or here's the pound actually, sorry. The pound dollar, let me drop this volume out of the way a little bit here. So what did we get this week? Well, net for the week, basically flat. We opened flat. We went up on Monday, had a nice move there, back down Tuesday, we'll bounce Wednesday, flat Thursday, and dropped Friday. Remember, the reason you see that gap in the chart on Friday, it's a news gap. We don't try to trade those too heavy. We were less than half size on the trade from that because when you get two big numbers like the non-farm payroll unemployment number along with the trade balance at once, it's almost always going to do that. It's basically untradeable, so we don't look for big action on those nights. Here's the euro dollar, on the other hand, definitely lost some points this week. High to low, high of the week to low of the week, 220 pips. So that's the range for the week. We had some really nice winners. They carried over a couple days, more than 100 pips on at least one of the trades, and so it was a good trading week for Forex. And again, just seeing these average daily ranges pick up is really helping us out quite a bit. All right, let's take a look at the economic data coming out this next week and see what we got. Let's get a game plan going. We've got 2 more full weeks, and then we head into the week of Christmas and New Year's. Obviously, Hanukkah also starts a little sooner than that, but this week is still free to go. So let's see if we can get some more great action like we've been seeing here in Forex. Sunday, we've got manufacturing sales out of New Zealand, current account and final GDP and bank lending out of Japan, trade balance out of China. We go into Monday. Economy watchers sentiment out of Japan, German industrial production, Italian bank holiday, so Italy's on holiday for the first day of the week. CPI out of Switzerland along with retail sales. The Sentix investor confidence number at 4:30 a.m. Eastern time Monday morning. That's out of Europe. Eurogroup meetings begin. Housing starts out of Canada along with building permits. That labor market conditions index is not a major number out of the U.S. Monday night M2 money stock, BRC retail sales monitor, the NAB business confidence, and 30-year bond auction out of Japan. Going into Tuesday, unemployment rate out of Switzerland, German trade balance, French trade balance, manufacturing production and industrial production out of the UK, 30-year bond auction out of the UK, the ECOFIN meetings out of Europe. US has the NFIB small business index, JOLTS job openings, IBD tip economic optimism, wholesale inventories. Australia in the afternoon, Tuesday, got the Westpac consumer sentiment. We've got the BSI manufacturing index out of Japan and the PPI out of Japan. Australia's home loans, China's CPI, PPI at once at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time Tuesday night. Heading into Wednesday, consumer confidence out of Japan, French non-farm payrolls and industrial production, new loans and money supply out of China, trade balance out of the UK, crude oil inventories here in the U.S., 10-year bond auction in the U.S., the Fed budget balance in the U.S. In the afternoon. We've got a rate announcement out of New Zealand at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday, and then their FPI. Core machinery orders and tertiary industry activity out of Japan that night. MI inflation expectations out of Australia. You got the RICS house price balance out of the UK. The unemployment rate out of Australia that night. Now we're heading into Thursday. German final CPI, French CPI, Switzerland's LIBOR rate. This is a rate announcement at 3:30 a.m. Eastern Time Thursday morning out of Switzerland. Got Italian industrial production, capacity utilization rate out of Canada. In the U.S. in the morning, 8:30 a.m. Core retail sales, unemployment claims. That's the weekly number. Import prices, business inventories, natty gas, 30-year bond auction. Revised industrial production late that night out of Japan, and then China's got their industrial production, fixed asset investment, retail sales out of China, German WPI, UK construction output, industrial production out of Europe, employment change out of Europe, CB leading index out of the UK. We got the PPI out of US, and the preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations data at 9:55 a.m. That wraps up the week. And then we go into the following week, which is still a full week before we head into the Christmas holiday. So that's what we're looking at here. None of our big three, no Fed announcements, nothing. So it's just a straightforward week. There is quite a bit of data, at least. And hopefully get a straightforward trading week like we just had. Everybody have a great week. We will be here in the lab trading it as usual. Charts brought to you by eSignal. Hope to help you out. Have a great week.